What is up, everyone? It's the Tetris Attack 101 here with another LP. And today, well, tonight for me, we're starting up one of my favorite puzzlers of all time, Tetris Attack. Yes! Let's not do the Captain Falcon yes again. We'll save that for episode 2. Anyways, yeah, welcome everyone to Tetris Attack. I love this game. I love it. I love it. But this is actually, I think, take number 3 because I did episode 1 on Saturday night, I think. No, I did episode 1 on like Friday night. And for some reason, the video just sounded bad. Like, I sounded so freaking dead in that video. It was ridiculous. I sounded like I was depressed or something. I don't know what was going on. You see what happens when I take a break from doing videos? I start sounding like I'm super tired. But here's a real weird thing. I'm actually tired right now, and I have way more energy than before. But yeah, I had a lot of problems actually getting this to work on the emulator that I wanted it to work on. Um, I use an emulator on a phone called John Ness, and that's the emulator that I use to do the Mega Man LP. And I had to change it to SNES 9X because the emulator I was using, John Ness, just wasn't working. For some reason, the screen was flickering every time, like you complete a level like this, and then you see Yoshi walk into the next world. For some reason, the screen flickers, so it's like, nope, I'm not doing that. So I swapped to SNES 9X. And the reason why I didn't use that emulator to begin with is because for some reason there's input delay, like a lot of input delay in that emulator. Well, in this emulator, but it works just fine now, which is good. But I created one video file, and when I checked the audio wasn't working at all. I was like, what the heck is going on here, man? And so I was like, why is the audio not working for this emulator? But all I needed to do was change the audio driver to what's it called again? Open SLE something. I can't even remember. But yeah, that's just my little story. If you're looking for tips on how to play Tetris Attack, I'm sorry, I can't give you any. It's a simple game, really. Like, you match colors, stuff happens. And in versus mode, you're just trying to match you're trying to make big combos, and you're trying to match at least 4 pieces together so you can drop, I don't know what you call it, like junk blocks onto the enemies so you can make their life a living hell. You're just trying to survive mostly, and you're trying to attack the opponent, and that's why I love this mode. Like, this mode is very fun. I think versus is my favorite mode in the game. But yeah, I'm not really gonna try and give tips because what tips can I really give you? Like, you match colors, right? And I'm pretty to be honest with you, sometimes I don't even know what I'm trying to do in the game. I've played the game a lot, but most of the time I'm just flicking buttons, man. I'm just trying to match colors as fast as I can, and stuff happens. It's not like I'm that good where I could deliberately see everything on the board, and I'm like, okay, I could do this and do that and do that. I'm not good with horizontal matches. I'm better with the vertical matches, but yeah, I'm decent with this game. I'm not the best at it. But the whole reason why I wanted to do this video was so I could discuss stuff that's going around in the video game world. Um, I think Summer Game Fest is technically over. I don't fully know for sure. Um, or you could just call it fake E3 because E3 got canceled this year for some reason. But I wanted to talk about the events that happened the last couple of days, and just my thoughts on it and how I feel about the event. Honestly, I feel like the event was pretty good. I still hoping Nintendo does something real soon. They're bound to do something, right? Well, what's it? It's like June 20th. I heard rumors that they might be doing a Nintendo Direct on June 29th. So watch out for that. Man, really wonder what Nintendo's gonna do, because Breath of the Wild got delayed. Breath of the Wild 2 got delayed. Metroid Prime is a thing. Metroid Prime 4 is a thing people want. But I wonder what they'll do. I'll probably talk about that in the next video. Let's actually talk about the stuff that happened at the event. I actually have a list of stuff that I write down here. Topics that I could talk about and my thoughts on these games. Let's talk about one of the biggest games for many people, and that is Starfield from the Xbox event. Starfield basically to me looks like a Skyrim, Bethesda, Fallout, No Man's Sky game. Whatever the hell that is. It's another one of these space games. But my fear with Starfield is that what if the game is just too freaking big? Like, this is my thing with certain games. Back in the day I used to enjoy games that's just massive. Like massive open worlds, full of stuff to do, full of stuff to explore. But now I'm kind of like, yeah, what can you do in these worlds? Like, when you decide to make a massive game world, there's only so much stuff you can do before it turns into something, before the game itself just feels kind of bland. And I'm kind of fearful that that might happen with Starfield. I know this is Bethesda, they know how to make massive video games. Skyrim is massive, Fallout 4 is massive. A lot of the games they make is open world games. They're not amateurs at that. But I'm kind of scared that the game world might be just too big, and it's just gonna feel like a massive world full of nothing. That was the problem with No Man's Sky. I think many people felt like the world just had, well, the many world in the game had nothing to, you basically had no content. And they updated and now the game is much better. So yeah, that's cool, and I hope Starfield is good. Another big game announced at the Xbox event was Hollow Knight Silksong. Now, first, let me say something about Hollow Knight. I thought Hollow Knight Silksong for a second was going to be a timed exclusive for the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X. When I heard rumors, like the day before the event, I heard rumors that Hollow Knight would have got announced, and it did. And it's cool and all to see footage of the game, but I got kind of scared because, like, wait a second, did Microsoft actually have make this game a time exclusive for the Game Pass? And after doing more research, well, not really research, but watching the event, I don't think it's a time exclusive. I honestly feel like Hollow Knight is a better experience on the Nintendo Switch. It's just so good to play the game portably, and it's good to see that game still exists and stuff is still happening for that game. Alright, I did heard some people was disappointed that the game didn't really have like a release date. They kind of have like a window. You could expect the game in the next 12 months or so, whatever, and didn't really get an exact date. What I'm hoping, even though I don't know if this is really gonna happen, but I'm hoping like at the next Nintendo Direct, we get even more information on Silksong. How cool would it be if the next Nintendo Direct they show more footage of the game and they actually drop a release date? That would just be amazing. But yeah, Hollow Knight, awesome game. What other things happened at the Xbox event? I can't really think of anything else besides the big thing that saved the event for me, and that is Persona 5, Persona 5, Persona 4, Persona 3 Portable, all the main. I don't consider those the main trilogy, because a lot of people enjoy Persona 1 and 2, but most people talk about 3, 4, and 5. But man, that flipping made my day. When I like, I was so happy. I was so flipping happy when I seen Persona coming out on Xbox. You know how long I wanted to play Persona 5? It's been so long, Cletus. So flippin' long. I'm crying. No, I'm not. I'm not crying. I'm actually... Alright, so I'm acting stupid. Yes. Persona 5 Royal. I'm happy that game is coming out on Xbox and Steam. Persona 4 and Persona 3 Portable. I know some people don't know how to feel about Persona 3 on... It's like the version that they picked for Persona 3 to come out. What the hell am I trying to say here? The version... What version? People are kind of surprised that Atlas picked P3P, the portable version of Persona 3 for Xbox, instead of the festive version. And honestly, I feel like P3P is a pretty solid game. That was the only Persona game I played, by the way. The game itself is pretty dang good. There's a lot of bonus content, even though Festive have a lot of bonus content as well. I did research on that game, and I heard that game has a bonus ending and all that stuff. All kinds of good stuff, really. But P3P has an extra character you can play as, and it doesn't have the bonus ending or the bonus content. I think it's called the Answer, like where you get some closure on the game's ending. But the portable version doesn't have that. But I still think it's a good idea to bring that version of the game over, that version of Persona over to multiple platforms. I know people still want like a true remake of that game, and yeah, that would be cool if they actually do make a remake of that game with all the quality of life stuff in both versions, and just put it on all platforms. That'll be amazing. But yeah, Persona 4 Golden is also coming out on Xbox, Steam, and all that stuff. But yeah, that literally saved the event for me. I wasn't bored, but that really made my day when I see that happen. Like, it was a good moment. I screamed to the top of my lungs when I saw that Persona music started to play. And but I said the event wasn't boring. The Xbox event wasn't boring. But you know what event was boring? Summer's Game Fest. That was flipping boring. I don't know if you call this event that's going around Summer's Game Fest. I think that's a separate thing. But yeah, Summer's Game Fest itself was pretty dang boring for me, because it was mostly just shooters and mostly the same old stuff, and stuff that you see at the State of Play. They brought it back for that event, and then they showed The Last of Us, which is getting a remake, which confuses me because didn't they made a remaster for PlayStation 4? Because the Last of Us, what the hell was that? The Last of Us was originally a PlayStation 3 game, right? And then they released a remaster for the PS4, and now they're doing a remake? I don't know. Maybe I should do some research on that. But Summer Game Fest was pretty boring. Like that, it was a long event. I didn't watch the entire thing. It was pretty boring. And the State of Play. Let's talk about the Sony State of Play. That was interesting. I couldn't really get too excited for the stuff that was announced because I don't have a PlayStation. And today I actually made up my mind. I'm gonna actually really try again to get a PlayStation 5, which is I still can't believe it's hard to get a PlayStation 5. Like, really? It's been like 2-3 years at this point. I don't think 3 years, but it's been at least 2 years, and the console is still hard to get. Like, what the heck? And I think the Xbox Series X is easier to get than the PlayStation 4, and like, I'm like, what? How come? But yeah, I made up my mind today that I'm gonna really try to invest into getting a PlayStation 5. I would love to get a PlayStation 5 because of one game, and that is Final Fantasy VII Remake. there was news, there was some news about Final Fantasy VII, but I'm not gonna talk about that in this episode because once I talk about Final Fantasy VII, I'm gonna talk about that game for 100 hours, and I won't have time to talk about anything else. So I'll leave that for a separate video, the next video that I'm doing. And but let's talk about the state of play. The state of play was interesting. Street Fighter was pretty cool. I love Street Fighter. I still love those games. I don't play them. Like I didn't play Street Fighter 5, but I did play Street Fighter 4. I did play Street Fighter 4 Ultra. Actually, I think Super Street Fighter 4, right? Like, that game is kind of weird. There's Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, then Ultra Street Fighter 4. I didn't play Ultra, but I did play Super and normal Street Fighter 4. And I'm a big fan of Street Fighter. That's actually my dad's favorite game. Like, I remember when I was younger, my dad showed me Street Fighter, and somehow he got that game on a flip phone. I don't know how the heck he got that game on a flip phone, but he got it. Probably was on the Play Store or something, and he played it. I played it, and I played as Blanca. It was awesome. Is this the... Oh yeah. I'm literally not even studying on this video. This is literally like a... This should just be a vlog, really. This is just Tetris Attack with me talking about video games. This is not an LP. This is a vlog with Tetris Attack included. But this is Bowser, the final boss. And if you play this game on normal and easy difficulty, you won't be able to face Bowser. Because if you play it on easy difficulty, instead of facing Bowser, you'll face the vine thing. Like, I don't know what you call that guy. It's like the vine thing, the piranha plant. If you play it on normal, the final boss will be Kamek. So if you want to actually finish the game and feel like you took down the real boss of the game, you have to play on hard difficulty. And hard is not hard. If you're new to the game, yeah, it is. But if you're used to it, anybody could finish hard difficulty. But there's a thing. There is something. I don't know if everyone knows this. Yeah, of course, if you're a fan of Tetris Attack, you might know this. Well, you will know this because when you complete this stage, they will tell you there is actually a hidden difficulty. There is a very hard difficulty, and you don't get no bonus boss or anything. It's the same bosses, but the game is actually difficult. Like, you will die a lot on that Bowser fight. You will die a lot. But when you beat him, it's like, oh, it's such a good feeling. Now I could beat him consistently. I remember when I died like a good 10, 15, 20 times on Bowser because very hard is super hard. And we beat Bowser. Yay, we did it. And, oh my god. This game's credits is long. I have 8 minutes remaining in this video, so I could finish talking about Summer Game Fest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I should call it Summer Game Fest. I think I should just call it fake E3 or whatnot. Because Summer Games Fest is its own entity, and it's boring. That event was flipping boring. But yes, we have defeated Bowser. Yay! Everything's better in the world of Tetris. Oh my goodness. I'm not even talking about the storyline. I'm not talking about nothing here. I'm just flipping talking about video games. And that's it. But man, Tetris Attack is such a chill game. I love it so much. I play it all the time. Okay, let's get back to the state of play discussion though. So yeah, Street Fighter 6. That looked cool. Ryu looks amazing. Like, his design looks cool. I like that he has a beard now. And Resident Evil 4 Remake is a thing, which is cool. I never played a Resident Evil game before. Actually, I did. I played Resident Evil 1 for the PS1, and that game was rough. That game was pretty dang rough. Resident Evil 1 was a great game back in the day. I bet it was. But now, I don't know if I could play that. It's tough. One thing I don't like about Resident Evil 1 is that they limit you on how much saves you can do. It's like, really? Like, why would you do that? And the mansion is not that confusing, but sometimes it gets kind of confusing and you wonder what you have to do next. I don't play too many horror games, but easily my favorite horror game is Silent Hill. Silent Hill 1 for the PS1. I still have fond memories of playing Resident Evil 1 for the PlayStation 1, of course. And I want to play Resident Evil 2. Why am I saying Resident Evil? Was I saying Resident Evil this entire time? Silent Hill 1. And I want to play Silent Hill 2 this Halloween, this Spooktober. There's a lot of things I want to do in October. Because if you know anything about me, I celebrate a stupid anniversary called Final Fantasy VII Day. In 2017, I played Final Fantasy VII for the first time on October 14th, and now every year I try to do something Final Fantasy related on that day. Last year, I watched Advent Children. That movie was weird. I didn't hate it, but it's like I can't take it seriously at all. I could probably talk about that in my next video. Man, this video is off the rails, man. I'm all over the place. The other one was pretty good. I talk about everything more cohesively, but I sounded like I was gonna pass out at any moment. I don't know what was going on with me, man. I was tired or something. I wasn't tired. I just sounded like I was tired, and I didn't like it. I didn't want people to think I was depressed or something, so I'm more upbeat now. And it's 1:14 a.m., so I should really do this in the day. Honestly, I should do this at like 4 p.m. or something in the day, but I don't want noise. I don't want a whole bunch of background noise to invade my videos, so that's why I do it at night. But Resident Evil 4 is a thing. It looks cool. I'm gonna play Resident Evil 4, the original one, for Halloween. Can't wait to see how good that game is. And yeah, like that's all the stuff I can remember off the top of my head, and that's all the stuff I written down on this little page I have here. Well, it's an app, it's my memo. But overall, I think I'm not gonna call it that. Fake E3 was pretty good. Just Nintendo, you gotta like put a bow on this event. You gotta end it off with a bang. I want to see something cool at that event. My predictions is that Nintendo is gonna release Metroid Prime Trilogy for the Switch this year. Like, that is my prediction. I remember last year I got some news. I was reading on an article that Nintendo actually has the game already, like they finished it, but they're refusing to release it. And you can see the controller disconnect because I just haven't touched it for all that time. The credits is pretty long here. But yeah, with Metroid Prime Trilogy, I heard that the game was actually finished and they're just holding on to it. I don't know how true that is because that's just a rumor. That's just a game theory. we're not gonna do that. But yeah, my prediction, and I remember saying this last year on a stream, that I feel like Metroid Prime Trilogy is gonna come out on the Switch this year, and next year Metroid Prime 4 will actually be released. That was my bold statement. But what I really want from this Nintendo Direct is Persona also coming on Nintendo Switch. Like, please, Atlas. I know Persona 5 will be a task to port to the Nintendo Switch, but I honestly believe they can do it. I don't think that game is that hard to port over. It's more of like, okay, do we want to do this? Because game developers sometimes just don't want to port over games to older systems, or they just don't want to actually do it. Even though they know they'll make money out of it, they just rather put their resources into other things. And I feel like, yeah, Persona 5 on on Nintendo Switch would just be amazing. Like, come on, everyone will play that. Playing Persona 5 on the go is just like a dream, even though, well, you could do that real soon with the Steam Deck. Since it's coming to Steam, Persona 5 is coming to Steam. I hope Atlus releases Persona 6 on everything as well. I highly doubt it because Sony is the money hat corporation. Like, they're the masters of just tossing money at developers to only keep on this system for a couple years. Man, I could get on a massive rant about that. I hate time exclusive. I hate them. I hate time exclusives. Oh, I hate them with a passion. I will go in depth about time exclusive in the next video when I'm talking about Final Fantasy VII remake and rebirth and Crisis Core and all that stuff. But yeah, we did it. Yay. Hopefully I actually sound alive in this video. But that's how you play on the hardest difficulty. Again, very hard is very hard. It took me a while for me to get good at it. Now I can do very hard and die like at least 2 or 3 times. But anyways, that was Tetris Attack on hard versus mode on hard. On the next video, I will be doing very hard. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the next video. Goodbye now.